There's this quiet revolution happening right inside your inbox. It's completely changing the game for email marketing, and it's all being driven by new rules from giants like Google and, well, a huge shift in what we all actually want from the brands we follow. So let's break down what this really means. To kick things off, I want you to think about this question. When you send an email, is it a megaphone, just shouting a message at a giant crowd? Or is it more like the start of a one-on-one conversation? That distinction right there is the key to everything we're about to dig into. So first, let's take a look at the old way of doing things, the approach that honestly is on its last legs. Let's call it the megaphone era. For the longest time, email marketing was just a numbers game, right? The whole strategy was to be as loud as possible everywhere, all the time, just shouting your message at thousands of people, hoping a tiny fraction might actually listen. But in a world that's practically drowning in digital noise, all that shouting just gets tuned out. It's ignored. The game isn't about volume anymore. It's about quality. It's about actually earning someone's attention. Okay, so what was the tipping point? What's really forcing this big shift? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is a major technical update from Google that has pretty much rewritten the rulebook for everyone. Back in February 2024, Google started enforcing new requirements around something called DKIM. And this wasn't some minor tweak in the settings. Oh no, this was like a giant beacon signaling to the entire digital world that the bar for email has been raised. Quality and security, they're not just nice-to-haves anymore. So what on earth is DKIM? I know, it sounds super technical, but the idea is actually pretty straightforward. It's basically an email authentication method. Think of it like a digital signature that proves an email is really from who it says it's from. It's a seriously powerful weapon against spam and phishing, which almost always rely on faking the sender's address. And this one technical requirement has massive ripple effects. This isn't just about checking a box to keep Google happy. It's about protecting your brand's reputation online. It's about making sure your messages actually land in the inbox instead of the spam folder. And ultimately, it's about creating a safer, more trustworthy internet for all of us. But let's be super clear here. Technology is only half the equation. This whole revolution is also being fueled by a deep, fundamental shift in what people expect from brands. It's a human shift. Here's the simple truth. People are tired of being sold to. They want to connect. They want to buy into the stories, the narratives, the values of a brand. They're looking for that personal touch, communication that actually sees them as a real person, not just another email address on a giant list. So how do you do that? Well, the answer lies in a strategy called drip campaigns. Now, these are not your typical mass email blasts. They're automated, yeah, but they're also highly personalized. They're like a series of thoughtful letters, each one tailored to where a person is on their specific journey with your brand. And this is where the real power of a conversational approach shines. Instead of just renting someone's attention with a flashy ad, you earn it by being genuinely relevant. When you deliver the right message to the right person at exactly the right time, you're not just making a sale. You're building a real relationship. You're turning a one-time customer into a true, loyal fan. Okay, so we get the why. We know the shift is happening. Now let's quickly pull back the curtain on the technical part. How do you actually set up this digital signature that makes all of this secure, authentic marketing possible? I promise it's not as complex as it sounds. It really just boils down to 3 core steps. First, you generate a special pair of digital keys. Think of it like a unique lock and key. One part is private and secret, the other is public. Second, you publish that public key out in the open for the whole world to see. And finally, you tell your email service to digitally sign every single email you send with your secret private key. Honestly, the best way to picture this is like one of those old-school tamper-proof wax seals on a really important letter. That seal guaranteed 2 things: who sent the letter, and that nobody messed with it along the way. That is exactly what DKIM does for every single email you send. It's your digital seal of authenticity. Now, DKIM isn't a lone wolf. It actually works as part of a team, a security trio. You have SPF, which basically lists who is allowed to send your email. Then you have DKIM, our digital signature, which proves it's really you and the message is intact. And finally, DMARC gives receiving mailboxes instructions on what to do if an email fails one of those checks. Together, they form this incredibly strong shield for your email.
So when you strip away all the acronyms, all the technology, and all the strategy, what is this revolution really about? Well, it all boils down to one single powerful word: trust.
This whole thing is about so much more than getting past a spam filter. The entire point of being more secure, more authentic, and more personal is to build and deepen the trust between you and your audience. That's the real goal here. I mean, at the end of the day, we all just want to feel seen, heard, and understood. When your communication makes someone feel that way, you build an incredible amount of loyalty. And loyal fans, they don't just buy from you. They talk about you. They advocate for you. In today's world, that kind of trust is the most valuable currency a brand can possibly have. And that really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The brands that are going to win in this new era are the ones that get this. Their marketing won't feel like a pushy sales pitch. It'll feel like a genuine, helpful, and welcome conversation. So the tools have changed. The expectations have definitely changed. The old megaphone is obsolete, and the conversation is here to stay. The only question left is, in this new era, what story will your emails tell?